It is moon time. Hold up. Chat room. Check, check. Okay, there we go. It is moon time. All right, what's up? What's up for those of you tuning in on YouTube? Good morning as well. My audio. Okay, oh, we're good. Yeah, it would seem that my Thinkorswim account is in the depths. And so until I set up my Webull account, I'll be using Guardian and E-Trade, all depending on the moves we're seeing and what we're getting. So looking forward to a good day here. VSEE is my main watch list stock. VSEE. Does it have a second leg? If we look at the watch list, we've got a couple of them holding up here. But of course, VSEE is the more obvious one with a 200+% move. There's others in FRGT. YMAT also up 32%. Good news, I'm very comfortable using my Guardian account. Bad news is that it's at 25,000. So I look forward to a nice green day on that one to get it boosted up a little bit here. So VSEE, I think it makes the most sense just to pay attention here. Why does this look like that? That's strange. Okay, I might have to shut down my Thinkorswim and come back. Hold up. I'm still gonna use it for charts. I'm not sure what's happening here right now at the bottom. Okay, give me a sec here. I'm gonna go to white screen, or I'll go to the disclaimer screen. Oh, that is strange. It's like it's open twice. Okay, I've never seen that before. I better not be hacked. Okay, I think I'm good. VSEE, we got the pre-market high at 403, low of the pullback at 240, and we got highs of 270 there in the last candlestick or two. Guys, just remember our disclaimer. Remember that day trading is risky, all right? Those of you tuning in on YouTube. And I do have a more than usual stuffy nose today, so I'll probably be sounding a little off. Just a heads up. But all good in the neighborhood. Yeah, I think Schwab finally said, "Hey, man, you know what? I know a guy at Schwab. Right? I'll talk about this later when more people are here. I know an executive at Schwab that's like pretty high up. I'm pretty sure if I call this guy that I'll be fine within like 15 minutes, but I'm not gonna go there. Not gonna do it. All good in the neighborhood. Relentless trader moving on from Schwab officially here. If I didn't have other platforms already, I would have been worried, but I already do. So there's like, I don't have any issues. From the first day they banned Tim, that's the day I signed up for new platforms and got locked in. So today I'm going to use a mixture of E-Trade and Guardian for executions. My E-Trade account, the only issue is that I'm not going to be showing my P&L all the time because if I hit this area here where it says purchasing power, it'll show like my account balance, and like these are questions that they ask when you're logging in, you know, like when you call in for help. So at the end of the day, I'll like check it and then I'll like relay it to the audience. Obviously, I don't care. Like I don't have a problem with showing anything. I mean, maybe I show the entire balance. I don't know. I'll have to find out, right? If it's safe to do. And I talk like this because I'm live streaming in front of hundreds of people, of which sometimes there are a few, it might even just be one or two people who they're just waiting to get me, sadly. So, it's like I kind of have to take that precaution. You gotta make it hard because, I know plenty of big time YouTubers who've been tested and who have also lost money from scams and hacks. I'll start off with my Guardian account and then go from there. I'll take off the scans. There's 50 seconds to the open. Let's trade to the best of our abilities. Let's be disciplined. We're in a range with a high of 290 by 217. Will we respect this range coming into the open? Consolidation. So as usual with a consolidation, right? If we can position ourselves low and it holds up the support, then there's a chance we can curl up closer to the higher side of the consolidation. So I don't mind throwing out starter size here, anywhere from 80 to 300 shares, depending on how it looks. It could just sell right through early. I'm going to keep a guard up for that. If not, I can take a couple hundred shares and watch for the retest of the high of the consolidation. $48. Well, it might halt up at 52 here. We didn't really get low below 30, but 36 to 48, and we're halting up already. Would have loved to see a dip closer to mid to low 20s, but all good. So I had the baby starter size there, so no size at all really going into that move up. Okay, we're halted up. Analysis. Are we really out of the woods here? The answer is no. We're still below 290. And so, I don't think being ultra aggressive would make sense on the open. I think I'm going to stick to just a couple hundred shares just to feel it out, see what it does in case for like hard rejection. And by the way, with my, since last Friday, since I had this speech at the end of the live stream, my goal is also to be more vocal, not only for the audience, but of course for myself, because it also helps me to walk through my trade idea and give me more confidence in terms of setting my stops. I think when you say it out loud to yourself, you're more disciplined to follow through with the trade. CECO. What I'll miss though is these sweet thinker swim charts, right? I definitely think they have the best charts. So if you're tuning in on YouTube, be sure to hit the thumbs up. My Schwab account is officially in the depths as of today, as of yesterday, which I didn't even realize. I thought I was having some tech issues. From time to time, you're not able to trade certain stocks, things like that. But I'm like, man, everyone else in the chat room seems to be having a party. And here I am on the sidelines. So I put two and two together and I'm like, you know what? So when they banned Tim, I started using Guardian to like lay low. It doesn't look like that helped me out a bit. So for those of you using this platform, I'd say be careful. Resumption 2 minutes 38 seconds. Be careful in the sense that maybe your account could get banned. I think when I came back, I made 6,000 and I lost four off the top. And I was trading 50 trades a day. So, in terms of like shares being churned and volume, my volume was like 100,000 shares a day compared to like 1 million shares last year. So just keep an eye and be prepared is what I'd say. That way, on the next day like today is business as usual. Our resumption is showing sideways. Yeah, I heard some good things about Weeble, so I just gotta send over like 30K maybe just to see get the account going. Maybe even go through a couple tutorials too just to get familiar with the platform quicker. But I think my top platforms are gonna be Guardian, Sage, and Weeble. Tim has been saying some good things about Weeble, so Tim has never lied to us to this day, so VSEE again for me, smaller size. I'm thinking just a couple hundred shares here because you know it's not out of the woods yet. If we can get closer to 290 and start holding above 290, I think that's where I'd really want to push size to see if we get the follow through. But being that we're in the consolidation, we can still reject. So just gonna take it slow, small size, pace myself here throughout this beautiful day here so far. Another beautiful day. Now, if we get lucky and this stock goes to like 10, that would be a great day. Way, way back in the mine. Although the halt levels do seem a little close together. 10 seconds, we're 252. Ooh. Yeah, it is way down. And it is an instant halt down, actually. I took 80 shares for the false halt. I'm going to get caught. A really small size, 80 shares. See, again, we're not out of the woods over 290, so the risk there is still, which is why I think using bigger size would have been way too risky. RT analysis. You got to hit the thumbs up for that one. LUNG. And by the way, since I'm going to be more vocal, of course, copy trading doesn't work. It's all about understanding the strategy that we trade here in MMU before taking the trade. And I speak like this knowing that, there's a ton of students listening to me, right? The average person who's just watching the live stream that has no idea the strategies we're talking about, you can't hear me saying I'm going to buy the dip and then just buy. That's not going to work. LUNG, keeping an eye on it. We have 234. LUNG, what's the volume looking like? And I don't see it on the scans here. Okay, 20% only. Well, 40% move. We'll see if traders get onto it. If not, I'm staying on the sidelines. I want to trade the best and leave the rest, as Ross would say. We are at the low of the range, and so I do want to pay attention to see if the stock does hold up here. think anything within like a 10 to 15 cent range could be fair game at the whole dollar and back up if it's able. But if it's if it's too much selling pressure and it's not instantly back over like 15, 16, then there's just a little too much risk. FRGT below the VWAP seems a little weaker. I'm not touching until it gets up above 210, holding up a good bull flag or something, leaving it in the depths. And by the way, this resumption is showing 92, so this looks like it might open up way lower here. It might be a 10-minute halt as well. Abdu maybe trading the pre-market session, saying he's out of here early. Honestly, some people will leave early depending on if the open is a little weaker to start, if they've had a good pre-market. Some will stick around till 4 p.m. just in case, right? Because sometimes there's a stock or two that'll come. Yesterday we had continuation throughout the afternoon. 10-minute halt, so 5 more minutes. Nothing is looking attractive here, everything is looking very mid, as they say these days, as the kids are saying. By the way, large caps though, right? Man, shout out to the SPY. The SPY is spying. I can't believe I sold at 590. I had my SPY swing looking pretty good. And I did think about it, like, do I want this to be like a swing that I hold forever kind of swing? Or do I want to be more of a short-term swing? And I sold 590, went short, covered at like 70, and then from there we mooned over 600. Man, this is such an impressive move. We're at 686. I gotta check the percentages. And what this means, companies like Nvidia, whatever you guys call it, 195. Sweet UNH after earnings today. Oh, it's pulling back. Oh man. Okay, that's all right. I was thinking 380s, but it's pulling back a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Oh man. Come on. So I guess the anticipation was good at 365, 368, up to 380s, and then now we're back to 360 again. No bueno, no bueno. I have shares pretty low, but still, we would have loved to see this continue. Okay, resumption, VSEE coming back to it. That is a bloodbath for anybody that traded options there for the swing. We got 2 minutes 30 seconds. It's showing 195 of VSEE. Yeah, XHLD is looking pretty decent. So we got highs at 70 cents. The pre-market highs are at 61. We've had a bit of a topping wick and a bull flag, all things considered. There's a minute to that resumption. I'm going to take a starter here. Only limit orders are accepted for stocks trading below $1 in E-Trade. Jesus Christ, bro. Anyhow, it's 66, 65, 2,500 shares rejected. It's giving more of a wider pullback. 36 seconds to the resumption on VSEE. If it's able to hold, so I have to get that Webull account fired up. Fees are too high on the direct access platform below $1, especially. Below $1 is just like a little too much. $17 was that level, and so again the halt is at 07. It doesn't look good. E-Trade disappointing me here with these limit orders. I don't think that was a thing until recently, actually. Low of the current candlestick is 63 on the 5. We've had a good bottoming wick there, and back up. Now my Webull account, I just have to add cash today, and then usually wires are like 1 day, so I think by Thursday, Friday we should be good. XHLD back down to 62. Yeah, if we're not going to continue on the 1 minute breakout there, we might need to see that bigger drop indeed. WKEY hitting the scans here for a little bit. XHLD definitely looks like the best though so far. So I can't trade below $1 on E-Trade because I don't have hotkeys there, and they don't allow hotkeys. Was hoping I could mark it in and out, which would be more than good enough, but Guardian, the fees are just too high below 1, so I'm kind of on the sidelines here again. My other platform, I should be ready for Friday or Thursday maybe. I think Thursday. Between today and tomorrow, adding funds and then getting more familiar with hotkeys and just the layout of the platform, and then the daily chart actually is decent on WKUI. There's decent volume. It is pretty extended though. It's pretty extended. I don't know. It all depends. Like if using a new platform, the simulation to get used to things could be good too. Small size, 10, 20 shares could also be good. VSCE is halted up and the resumption is coming up here. But again, down at 207, right? So doesn't look that good. XHLD is continuing. It's going to be an interesting candlestick on the one. There's 30 seconds left. It's a good pullback, good move up. The 5-minute candlestick is still pretty strong. So far, it's definitely looking good here. The 5-minute candlestick is still looking pretty healthy. And it's a good bottoming wick there on the one. You know, definitely the longer holds here though, man. So if you're now tuning in, my Thinkorswim account is in the depths, and I'm utilizing Guardian and E-Trade for now as my Webull account is being set up for these sub $1 stocks. E-Trade, I don't have any hotkeys. They don't allow hotkeys, and I can only use limit orders. And Guardian, the um the fees are just way too expensive, below $1. You gotta expect that with any direct access platform, though, right? Below one, the fees double and triple, especially depending on the size. So there's a new consolidation here with a high of 71, a low of 66. The pre-market high, where, let's see, the pre-market high, okay, that was 61. So definitely above that level. But yeah, how well can we do in the current consolidation here? Will we need to see another 5-minute pullback? Or do we have what it takes here to curl through the level for a new high? Yeah, my Thinkorswim account is in the depths. Absolute Titanic. Yesterday I was trying to buy and then I had some error. I thought it was like one of those stocks you couldn't trade or something. The ECN fees, Big Steve. So we're seeing a 5-minute pullback here. These penny stocks are always, a little tricky. The good thing with Guardian and Sage is that they're through DAS, and if you're using DAS already, then you know there's no learning curve there. Which in my E-Trade account, my E-Trade account is like swinging stuff, right? Although it could be used on stocks above $1. Damn that damn that freaking UNH dip, bro. We had 389. We had 389, man. I don't even want to look at my daily P&L now. Just 389 to 364. Although we saw 364 yesterday. Yeah, I mean my account got banned like I don't know, like I was trading 50 trades a day and since I came back to it, obviously it's been like a slower year, right? But since I came back to the account from Trading Guardian, I think I made 6,000, then I lost 4, so I was like barely green 2K, 50 trades a day, boom, account. So, but I don't know, I tried to like not use the account to like let it like, let the dust settle on like the bans. I haven't heard of like people getting banned as much. Still a few people, but compared to like the first week, like when Tim and a couple other people like told us in chat room, like I think like a bunch of people on Twitter got banned at that time, and then like you didn't really hear anything. You know, it is what it is. It's business as usual, right? It's just another day, really. This is what it is in this place in this world of capitalism. Business as usual. What I didn't anticipate is my E-Trade account not being able to trade below $1, or else I could have been trading this thing at least, even if it's with smaller size. Like I said, I know somebody at Schwab that I could call, like an executive person, but I don't think I'm gonna bother doing that. That's a nice red to green there. Sometimes being on the sidelines is not a bad thing. As I mentioned, I did this before purposefully in like 2020 for like 4 to 6 months. I think like yeah, like 6 months almost. You'll be surprised as to how different you can see things. And I'm gonna, make the best of it as I'm watching on the sidelines here. Jot down some notes. That was a really good breakout there. Off the red to green and then over the highs, 71. It's looking very, very, very aggressive here. It is a little extended though, off that push. You know, like with the fees on these cheaper stocks, it can work, but you have to be very accurate, right? That's the like the number one issue. It's a little unforgiving if you're, you know, not as clean with the trades. But this one, you know, in every area where we're like showing for the uptrend off the lows, we're seeing a good resolution. You know, over here, this one I think a little bit more tricky. But you know, where we have the white lines, you know, off the bear flag, like a miniature bear flag here. Like once we get the 1 minute candle to make the new high. Granted, we did pop drop here the first time, but the second 1 minute candle to make the new high here is going to resolve into this 3 or 4 candlestick move. 67 to 87. Can't go wrong. Will we see it again here at some point? Or, you know, are we going to see a bigger pullback? But waiting for the uptrend sometimes is not bad. You know, you can avoid some of the flushes. Again, going back to Friday, you know, I had this talk at the end of the live stream, and then studied up over the weekend. And it's like, man, we have to ease off from like too much scalping, you know? Like that's the biggest thing, like just easing off from too much scalping and being more patient, zooming out a little bit more out of the tape. And you know, sometimes you got to get back to the fundamentals of candlesticks. So sometimes the stocks can be tough to trade, you know, with all the noise. Zooming out can give us a better shot at the entries and also, you know, holding a little longer. The 1 minute candlestick making a new high again. Will we continue or are we going to see some turbulence? There's a cent and a half there so far. 87 highs. There's 4 cents. Could see a new high of day. A bit of a double top. Maybe some profit taking. A bit of a double top. Could be worth trying again at the lows for me if I'm able to trade it here. But I wouldn't want to have my stop be too big. So a tighter stop. What could be tricky sometimes is that you do get the higher lows and you can, I think this is worth the dip. If not, waiting for the uptrend is always a good idea too. Maybe like a starter trade only if it comes down, and then if it does want to give the red to green. Sometimes a smaller time frame could be good too for people. I could pull up a 10-second chart here. Ten-second chart. Man, UNH, I tell you, bro. We should have been at $400. Yeah, it's gonna turn out to be a higher low here versus 76. The pennies are getting the big Steve. Frustrated. Oh, what I didn't do was start my screen recording. Actually, it's fine. I don't have the tape, but I have the charting here at least. I don't really need to tape too much of the tape on this one. Like right here, our 5-minute candlestick is red. Maybe, the uptrend is the better move here. Can we get a couple of candles, either higher lows on the one or maybe, new highs? Like 1-minute candles and stuff like that, making new highs. I think if I'm trying to scalp this stock the usual way, it's not. It's just I think I'd be red. Like, it just wouldn't work. Just gotta like slower trades, pace yourself. I don't know. I don't think the aggressive ultra scalping here would have done anything at all. Like break even, churning shares, red, and hopefully not getting caught in a massive drop off, you know? So the 1 minute candlestick is making a new high. Will we be able to sustain ourselves here? The range can be a little tough too, you know, in terms of getting chopped out of trades. They banned me because, well, okay, let me not speak out of like, let me not speak like that here. I was gonna make a joke and like, you know, be funny about it, but they banned me because you know, over the lifetime of my account, I've made too much money. Is my guess. You know, if you go to a casino and you win too much, you get banned eventually. That's like a real thing. A casino, the Taj Mahal, the you know whatever other casinos. Um, yeah, let's just stick to the Taj Mahal. You know, you'll get you'll get banned after you win too many hands. If you have an edge, it's a good business ultimately, although not for me, for the other side of the business. You know, remember, for someone to win, someone has to lose. Someone has to lose. And if the casino is losing and there's a few guys who are just too good, myself, the team house, others on Twitter, you know, the chat room, the students, the YouTube audience, I'm pretty sure people in all of those areas might have gotten banned, like a few people, you know. Half the people, are they still alive? Yes. Like half the members, their accounts are still fine, depending on if they're trading large caps, and you know, I mean, there's some variant, right? All depends. But I've even heard people who are they're not scalping at all. Like they're just, you know, there's a couple of guys that I know who like they'll have like $500,000 days, and they're not doing anything close to scalping. They're taking like on a stock like this, they're in like 8 million shares, you know, at like 60 or something, and then scaling out, and their accounts got banned too, and they're not even like in and out quickly. They're trading very slowly, buying, buying 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 20,000, 20 over a long period of time, 10 minutes, and then slowly selling, slowly selling, slowly selling. The whole trade takes 2 hours or an hour, and their account still got banned. So I don't think it has anything to do with trading and trade style, or else those people's their accounts would have never gotten banned, you know? So it could be a thing where once you make too much money, you can get banned. So just I'd say just be careful and have like other accounts on the sidelines, so that once you do get banned, or if you do get banned, you're just like, you know, sadly, I thought I was ready here with E-Trade for sub $1. Freaking E-Trade telling me I need to use limit orders, and I don't have hotkeys. If I had hotkeys, I wouldn't have cared. I would have traded. But that E-Trade is one of those accounts you can't connect through DAS, or else I would have already had hotkeys and offsets and everything there. Like pure limit orders without hotkeys is just too limiting for me to trade, you know? So it's best to just observe from the sidelines, record my screen, and be ready as soon as possible on the other account, which I did open up yesterday at Webull for sub $1 primarily. Maybe over $1 too, depending. Sage Trader, I'm gonna use as well, and have 3 accounts. Look at that push right there, all the way to 88. And that looks like somebody bought shares there big because it was coming down a bit and right back up. And right back up. See, the tape is good in those areas like that to see, but it's definitely pretty volatile still. If we can continue to hold 77, there's a chance it breaks out again. This has been a pretty strong one. We've been seeing more penny stocks here be strong recently. If you want to say this is the first move and then, the second leg and then consolidation again. So this type of stock, if it sells off right here, right now, we cannot be upset. It's like a good move here overall. Although we would hope it keeps going, of course. Is the Taj Mahal a hotel and not a casino? I can't remember these casino names for some reason. If the Taj Mahal is not a casino, forgive me. Caesar's Palace. There we go. Caesar's Palace, right? That's a pretty popular one. Caesar's Palace. Cosmopolitan. Hard Rock. Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. The Hard Rock does definitely have a nice looking hotel from the outside. Jeez. VSEE. How are we doing? It's to 213. 217 was the low of the range. Is it worth looking at potentially? We'd need to resume above this level of 217 though, and continue with another halt up. Or at least if it resumes sideways and is able to push through. $77 is still holding on XHLD. 77 cents is still holding strong, so could potentially still see a new high here over time. Oh, the Taj Mahal was closed down, right? Demolished, something like that. See, that wasn't bad then. That wasn't way off. I'd say for the people who still have a Schwab account, keep using it. Honestly, let's be honest. The charts, like, look at these charts, right? I mean, the charts here alone, the charts are really nice. Some of the best charts I think in like the entire trading world. You know, there are some good things about the platform. It's good that it can be integrated with Das Trader. I probably should have utilized my Schwab account during pre-market because that's where I would have been adding liquidity in most of my trades, and I used a different platform, right? I mean, all those things probably matter. I don't know for sure, but it probably does matter a little bit. I've never had too many issues with the charts lagging here. Seeing some people saying it's pretty laggy. Hey, better the market makers than somebody else, right? I'd rather it be the market maker than another trader somewhere, you know. But somebody always has to lose. It's just whether it's the market maker, some brokers to a degree, another person, another institution. I remember talking with these guys, right? And I'm not gonna say any names, but they're telling me like, yeah, man, such and such company had to wire us 13 million because, and if you see this stock, it's a stock that we would trade. It went from like 2 to 13. This is like 5 6 months ago already, or maybe a little bit more than that, right? One of those stocks that like the volume is like really light, similar to the one we had yesterday that halted up twice. And like yeah, they got blown out of water there, man. Maybe 13 million is a small amount for that firm. I don't know, but typically not too many retail traders are losing 13 million on a short squeeze going from 2 to 13. Somebody's losing somebody. VSEE. I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. It's back over 17. If it proves that it can hold up, I can add. I don't have any size yet, just watching. Yeah, it's still a little weak. Still a little weak, still struggling. Might need a candlestick or two. 05 to 26. Okay, all right. Showing a little bit of Brazilian still. There's a new candlestick. 33 is the halt up again. XHLD is looking a little exhausted here. Will it continue to hold the support? If not, it probably breaks down soon. It needs to hold up 77 plus or minus and then retest that high with high volume. I'm keeping an eye on VSEE here on the other screen. We got 217, which was our, initial support in pre-market. We're back at 220 here after lows of 160 or so. High of the last candle is 26. Halt downs at 05. I'm thinking. I mean, I don't love it. I do think if it halts up again, it's in a good place. I don't love it. There are people buying 06, which is pretty risky at the halt down. XHLD at 77 again. Is it going to hold up again here? Fighting for survival here. One minute trader, did you change your name? A 1 minute candle to make the new high of BSEE. Pretty tough. And that XHLD is breaking down. Yeah, it was pretty exhausted, right? I mean, it gave a good move. We couldn't get through 89. Shorts are definitely here. The shorts have arrived. I'd like VSEE to halt up at the new halt level, which is at 33. XHLD looks like it's going to be on the backside for now. %89 move. VSEE, do you have what it takes here? On this stock, I wouldn't size up until it halts up over 33. Halt levels at 33 exactly. 1 minute candle to make the new high, rejected there. Come on, halt up 31. Halt up. I don't think taking a trade here is a bad idea. Let's see what it does on the resumption. I'm gonna use size for the dip and rip, 300 shares, and then I'll look to increase size as I go. If it can continue to hold up an uptrend here. So far, it looks like good confirmation back over the previous support. You know, support became resistance. We consolidated right through the level. I think the trades down at oh 05. The halt level was at oh 05. So it's almost like we had three false halts going down, which is why I didn't like even bother there. Like it's just too risky, man. But it held up, and so this is a bull flag breaking out. So I'm gonna look for the continuation here. High of day for the open was 52. Definitely the next target, and then from there, can we see 290? If we can, maybe we can fill the gap again. This one could end up being good. It's still early, could still have like a big rejection, but we'll see if it's able to hold up. VSEE. Looks like a lot of people are like sharing information in the YouTube chat, which is good. For those of you in the chat room, looks like we got some good call outs there. Some nice trades there from Hollis as well. I do want to double check. Let's see. We have 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes. Why can't I spell? Why? Why? Do I need to go back to school? I am always having a typo. Brain is cooked. I got 55 seconds. Yeah, I know, right? I need to go back to English 101. At this rate, they might put me in remedial, Big Steve. Remedial English, Drake and Josh style. Okay, 30 seconds. Luckily, in this field, all we need to do is push buttons, right? Anyone can do it. Although there's risk. A risk that we must manage. We're halted up at 31. Watching VSEE here. taking the dip, tight stop. I got filled fairly high there, which is not great. I want to see back over 33. If not, looking to cut it. We want to see that uptrend and that push here. If not, it doesn't really make too much sense. Willing to add over 33 if we can see it. Oh, did I get it? Did I get the ad? Can't tell. I might have gotten a higher fill there, though. We'll see. It's rejecting. It's a type of level where we want to see that clean, sweet move. It's having a tough time. So back on the sidelines here, watching and waiting. We should be seeing 35, 40, and a potential halt up again. And in that type of area where we can, really open up, we want to see that resolution. So we're kind of back into 17 level, which is, not the next new range we'd want to see. So definitely got to be cautious here for bigger drops. Come on, VSE. You could have had a sweet halt up already. Instead, it's a false halt down. It might halt down, I think. What's it going to be? It's fighting. Oh, it's halting down. See, it's like that move from 33 should have already been at 41 halted up, and then 50 resumption and so forth. It's just good setup for the breakout, the bull flag, just don't follow through. Let me see, where did I get filled? 34, I guess not that bad. It did boost through. The moment it got to 30, it just boosted up there, so. But that's a good setup there for me. I like that trade, even though it didn't continue. I think that was a good setup. Gave myself a good chance of that opening up, but no follow through there. Got to keep this same level of risk management and also communication, right? Again, speaking out loud to myself, the audience, helps me to manage risk better in a trade, I feel. I think today might be a good day for a recap too. It's been an eternity since we did a recap. Big Steve, what do you say? A recap with Pastor. We're gonna do some preaching. Bro, I'm ready to make some money. I need to see, there's no rush, right? There's no rush, but with this mindset and staying this level of discipline, like, I'm ready for a new chapter, like, I want to look back at my equity curve like 6, 7 months from now and be like, yeah, consolidation into breakout, like just monstrous breakout, vicious. Vicious move to the upside. Of course, every day we're going to have to come in and put in the work, right? Same level of energy, same level of discipline. Even on a tricky day, we still want to manage risks, communicate. If we need to ease off, we ease off. And on the hotter days, especially the days where we can, see those moves from 5 to 15. You got to talk it into manifestation, bro. You have to have endless confidence. You have to have endless confidence. You must not wither, you must not crack, but instead Remain ready. On the day, red 90 bucks on VSEE off that last trade just now. No trades on the cheaper stock because our E-Trade account, sadly, limit orders only. And we don't have any hotkeys there. They don't allow hotkeys. And the Guardian account is just too expensive. We're gonna be opening up a Sage account and a Weeble account. We already have one. We have to fund it and get a little bit more familiar. But I think Sage will be good too. E-Trade for me is more like a swing trading account. Don't usually use it for day trades. I haven't in like a long, long time. Don't worry, man. The days are coming very quickly here. I'm gonna be here till I'm 90 plus years old, so I have a lot of time. The first trader to 90 years old. The breakout is coming soon. And up here it's gonna say like 3.9 million. Coming soon to a city near you. And we'll do it live. We'll do it live. After I'm done with the live stream, I'm going to continue to work on the Weeble account and getting it ready. We'll also sign up for the Sage account. Okay, I think I might take the time and start getting things set up. XHLD was the hotter stock today. Again, we're kind of sidelines until our count is up for the 100 time. So I'll be around, but I'm not going to be on stream. I'm going to be wiring the money in. I think wire should well, maybe not have instant settlement, but it's fine. I don't keep money in my like my regular cards. Like, I mean, I do, but not to like fund a massive account like that. So I'll make a recap today. It's funny because the last time I made a video talking about the Schwab ban, a couple of guys in the chat room and got banned. Now today I can make one saying that I got banned and do like a quick recap, just summarizing the platforms I'm using now and stuff like that. So for those of you going the distance, continue to be disciplined, continue to trade to the best of your abilities, and manage risk. Yeah, Trade Zero also was mentioned, but I don't think I need 4 or 5 platforms. If anything ever goes wrong with any of the three that I'll be using, then I can add in Trade Zero and remove one of those. But for now, I'm not gonna go too crazy and open up too many accounts. I think 2 to 3 is good. Another beautiful day in the market. UNH, man, I was expecting a little bit more out of UNH, but all good in the neighborhood. All right. Yeah. Take care. For those of you on YouTube, stay safe, stay green. Catch you guys tomorrow, bright and early. Bright and early tomorrow.